started, and I know you got it. You're with me, let's rock this party. All the girls on the side say, and all my fellas on the side say, tonight we're gonna fly high to the skies, 'cause we're gonna have a taste of the good life. Here we go, here we go, here we go up. We're gonna rock this club till it blows up. Yeah, we're gonna live a good life. Yeah, we're gonna do it all night. Good life, alright. Let's go and live the good life, the good life. Tonight, we're gonna live the good life, alright. Let's go and live the good life, the good life. Tonight, we're gonna live the good life, alright. Let's go and live the good life.
Alright, we're gonna live the good life. What's happening, everybody? It's your boy Onyx here at Going Full Nerd. Ooh. Let's break it down one more time. Let me hear that hook one more time. All right, what's happening, everybody? It's Sunday. It's 6 p.m. I'm actually starting on regular people time. Isn't this awesome? You get to spend another 6 p.m. on Sunday with your boy. And just in case you did not catch it, okay, just in case you did not catch it, we are going to be talking about the Netflix series that just dropped known as Masters of the Universe Revelation. That's right, Masters of the Universe Revelation. Hey, I'm going to be straight up. This is not He-Man. This is not He-Man. All right? Just throwing it out there to you. Welcome to the Casual Nerd. What's happening, JP? My man. So, let's get it right. Let's get it going down. Okay? Before we get into talking about Masters of the Universe Revelation, what I am going to do for you right now is play the shameless plug. Yes, we're gonna play the shameless plug. Yeah, there he goes. Casual Nerd in the house. Into his house. Throw your name out there. That's what I'm talking about. So let's go ahead. Let's play the shameless plug, and then we'll get to today's episode. What's up, everybody? It's shameless plug time. So thanks for checking out the podcast, Going Full Nerd. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe everywhere possible. So look for Going Full Nerd on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, goingfullnerd.com, and my Twitter handle, ONYXXX1969. You can also listen to the audio version on its home, Anchor.fm, but also on Pandora, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you consume your podcast listening pleasure. Hey guys, let's get on with the show. All right. Okay. All right. A couple of other little administrative things. Please check out the description of this video on YouTube. You've got the ability to go ahead, okay, and donate to Children's National Medical Center in Washington, D.C. The link is in the description below. And let's get going on. So here's the thing. This is not He-Man. I'm not going to go there. This isn't He-Man. But I got to ask, the question is, are we kids again? Are we kids again? Is everybody noticing the trend of things dropping in movies and television and all that stuff nowadays? We've got the brand new Transformers stuff that's dropping on Netflix. We've got a new Snake Eyes is in the movie theaters. I haven't checked that out yet. My alternative means of watching, the quality just wasn't good enough. So I said, you know what, I'm going to end up at a matinee or something for that. And we're getting basically the toys and stuff that we grew up with back in the day, 80s and 90s kids, as movies. And, with that comes expectations. Okay. We look back at our childhood and we sit and we say, you know what? Where are the simplistic, battles of good versus evil. You know what I mean? But Masters of the Universe has been getting review bombed all over the place. And here's my question. Did Kevin Smith, okay, did he make a mistake or did he hit it out the park? Now let's think about it. It's Kevin Smith, man. This Masters of the Universe is 5 episodes written and produced. Okay, so he wrote it and he paid for it. Okay, so and that's Kevin Smith of Clerks and Jay and Silent Bob fame. I mean, for those who not super versed on who Kevin Smith is, I mean, filmmaker, actor, comedian, comic book writer, author, podcaster. Man, I wish I could add a couple of those to my tagline. I mean, I got a few of them, but I would love to, add a couple of those to my tagline. But I digress. Let's continue on. All right. But for the most part, normally, I like Kevin Smith's stuff. Honestly, I think the reason I like a lot of his stuff is he and I are relatively close in age. Okay, and we've been exposed to many of the same things that fueled our love for the fantasy, comic book, sci-fi media. So believe me when I tell you, Masters of the Universe, I figured it out in the first couple of minutes of the first episode. This is not going to appeal to anybody that's trying to relive the old school steroid innocence of this show. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there. If you love the old school steroid driven innocence of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, you are not gonna like this. I don't think you are. We gotta open up minds now. We're gonna spoil some of this. So if you haven't watched all 5 episodes of Master of the Universe Revelation, I'm gonna need you to walk away. I need you to walk away, watch it, come back, relive this video, look at the chat, and then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna throw it out there. So check this out. So we ready. We ready, man. We ready. Let me take another sip of this. Because I know I'm gonna need this. Because I know a few of my partners out there disagree with me. With some of the stuff. Now, let's talk with episode 1. I'm going to break this down episode by episode, and then I'm going to give you my synopsis of the whole thing so far, because it did end on a cliffhanger, all right? We got episode 1, The Power of Grayskull. Now, that's what we're used to, the power of Grayskull. We're used to seeing this dude in his drawers with the big chest piece, with the man nipplage hanging out, flexing, screaming at the top of his lungs. The power of Grayskull, transforming himself and Battle Cat into the ultimate universe protecting team. Growing up, me and my god brother, he had a cat. We called him Battle Cat. Battle Cat wasn't shit. I think we should have called him Cringer, but he was orange. But I digress. Let's continue on. So here's the deal. What happens when secret identities are revealed? That's my question. This is where this story arc starts. I mean, the steroid-driven power we grew up on starts here. All right. Now, I'm going to commend the animators for sticking to the blueprint of having all these characters that actually skip leg day. I mean, I'm not a gym rat. I think I'm an average sized man. I got my back and my neck. I'm not going pushing weight, but I'm glad that the animator stuck for the most part of having a bunch of people skipping leg day. Because that's what the Masters of the Universe always has been and always will be. So here's the thing. This episode, the first episode, it sets up the future of Eternia while explaining the problems of its past. Okay, and it is done so with the apparent death of He-Man and Skeletor. Now we got a power vacuum. You know, what was supposed to start off as a good ass day ended up effed up. You know, and people mad because they wasn't in on it. I mean, there's some stuff that you don't need to know. I mean, for life is on a need to know basis. I know there's stuff I don't know about certain people. Okay, you know, I'm gonna go into the comments real quick, and I'm gonna listen to Josh's stuff. He says episode 1, aka everybody smarter than Tila. We are that is the typical comic book trope of Lois Lane don't recognize Superman when he took off the glasses. I wish that I could just take off my glasses and people don't recognize me. I could get away with so much stuff. Let me put this back on. Let me put this back on. Okay, so now you recognize me now. It's me. Okay. Let's get into this. So basically, we now got the power vacuum. Tila quit, Man at Arms, got exile. Everybody boo-hooing. Skeletor, who suspiciously sounds a lot like the Joker. Mark Hamill, I'm going to need you to get back up on your game, homeboy. Listen here. I mean, you know, I really was looking for the from the, you know, Skeletor, but you know, I got more of a Joker-esque vibe, you know, and it was like, come on, you know, but they paid a lot of money. Star power. It is what it is. Let me take another sip. I really should get these guys to sponsor me. Y'all just don't know how good this is. But anyway, let's move on to episode 2, entitled The Poison Chalice. So we're going to fast forward in time. We're going to catch up with Tila after she done quit. Magic is fading in Eternia. And we learn that without magic, the whole universe is in peril and will cease to exist if the magic spark is not reigniting. Okay. You know, we get a few introductions in this. You know, we get Tila with her arbitrary black female sidekick. I don't remember her from the other stuff, but it's cool. I'm good with it. And you know, and they run around, they heroes for hire, whatever you want to call it, bounty hunters, scavengers, whatever you want to do. And they going around, they kicking ass, they doing stuff because Tila knew all this stuff from when she was with the King's Guard. When she quit, she was promoted to Man at Arms. You know, her dad was demoted, you know, Duncan, whatever, yo. But with the apparent death of He-Man and Skeletor, we got problems. Now, the sorceress, she's losing energy, she's losing power. We get this old lady that's like, yo, I need you to go on a quest, get something out of Snake Mountain. And we start seeing other different dynamics. We start seeing other different stuff. And this is where a lot of people got lost, because when you killed off He-Man in the first episode, a lot of, what's the best way for me to put it? Dudes just shut their mind off. We were just like, I'm not even going to say we, because I like watching stuff like this, okay? Dudes just shut it off. They just was like, I'm done. But you killed off He-Man, now we got a chick flick? That's how dudes was treating this, okay? Let's look at the story, folk. It ain't about being woke, man. Look at the story, okay? If it was anybody but Tila, would you be that upset? Okay? Would you be that upset? I mean, Tila, even in the original OG, get home by 3:30. If you were a New Yorker like me, get to Channel 5, WNEW, turn that joint on, and you caught the He-Man episodes. Tila was no punk. Tila threw down with the best of them. I think, you know, her character, the way they drew it, she never skipped leg day, though. She was still buff, but she never skipped leg day like the rest of them. But that's a whole different story. But my thing is, everybody was feeling some kind of way because now we're focusing on Tila in this story. We're not focusing on Prince Adam. We're not focusing on He-Man, this man, that man, Onyx man, yo man, that hey man, we we ain't got the Terrence Howard thing going, so we ain't focusing on all the mains, man. And that's basically what happened. So here's the thing. Now we've got the problem. And now we get the introduction to the solution because we had Evelyn, who is now working with the sorceress. Okay? They had Tila get this thing, get this chalice. All right? Get the chalice. So they could be on the road to get back and restore Eternia. Okay, cool. Now we get to episode 3, known as the most dangerous man in Eternia. We got the quest. It started. Unexpected alliances are formed. And this is shaping up like a Dungeons and Dragons adventure. Okay. But it's basically going to be character growth for characters that were neglected in the OG series and only hinted at within the original series. Okay, so this is more Tila and Evelyn. All right, we just went from He-Man and Skeletor. We're now dealing with Tila and Evelyn. Now here's the thing: if you are a true hardcore Masters of the Universe fan, you kind of know that Evelyn wasn't really that evil. And you kind of know that Tila was more than what they let on and that she knew. Because honestly, I'm sure a lot of you know it. I'm not spoiling anything because a lot of us hopefully have watched the original series. We all know Tila is the daughter of the sorceress. We know that. For us, new people just picking this up, they don't know it. They don't know this. And they alluded to it a couple of times in these episodes. They were like, Tila, we've got something to tell you. That can wait. She's like, hold it, watch yourself. You're gonna get beside yourself. I know. Hold on now. That's how she was doing it. So we get that. That's on tip of the tongue, tip of the tongue, tip of the tongue. Nobody's addressing it. It's on tip of the tongue, tip of the tongue. But she's the only one going around dealing with all this magic stuff. Even she doesn't understand that she's dealing with this magic stuff a little too easily. Okay? It is what it is. So they go get, they got a couple of things. Like, what's his name? Triclops? Or whatever his name is. Then you got Trapjaw, they filling in the gap and all that stuff as secondary villains and things like that. Beastman shows up. He's all about Evelyn. Like, this dude, he need a shower, he need a shave, he need to go back and hit leg day too because he big and swole like everything else. But you end up with Man at Arms. He's like, whooping ass left and right. It's nice. The action is cool. Everything is straight. But I need you guys to focus on the story. The story is Tila is still in the dark over a bunch of stuff. It is what it is. But here's the thing. Now, this is the thing. This is one of those bringing it back and nobody's ever going to be happy. Here's the deal. Okay, so we get it back. The story actually follows some real basic comic book tropes. And I'm going to say. So they got the quest. They got to go through hell. They got to go through heaven. They got to find stuff. They got to get this. They got to get that. They got to face their fears. And that's going to episode 4, Land of the Dead. They got to face their fears. All right. Then you get a bonding moment between Evelyn and Orko, being magical people. Orko, who we find out his real name is Oracle. Wow. That's deep. That's deep, Kevin. That's deep. I like it. Like Beast Man is in the friend zone. Yo, I don't know, man. Eva Lynn looked like she and Beast Man. She might have had a couple of nights up on Snake Mountain. Get it? Snake Mountain. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. But here's the deal, right? So here's the thing. We learn a little bit more about the side characters. And that's what this whole first season, if you want to call it, is all about. We're learning more about the motivations and personalities of all these secondary Master of the Universe characters. Because if you didn't really just think about it, who out the original Masters of the Universe series, outside of He-Man, did they really, really, really pay any damn attention to? It was just He-Man, Skeletor. Okay. Now they had some cool comic books that came out by DC Comics a couple of years ago. No way related, no way connected to this. I don't think. I got to double check and see, but I don't think it was. But it just makes you sit back and say, okay, let's flesh these characters out. Let's see what's going on. So we get down into episode 5. They've been through hell. They made it to Preternia. There's Subternia, which is hell. Preternia, which is heaven. And they show up in Preternia. And then you've got all the former champions, Masters of the Universe. That's where we get the biggest revelation that Castle Grayskull is named after a brother. Wow. Do you think that back in the 80s, they would have accepted Castle Grayskull being named after a brother? Now, even they acknowledged in this series that was kind of effed up how Castle Grayskull looks, and the OG champion is a brother. Grayskull is a brother. Grayskull is a brother. And when they transformed the castle from that glimmering, shiny palace, they're like, you know what? We're going to hide it. We're going to name it Castle Grayskull. Let's hit it with the Grayskull. Bam! And it looked like Section 8 housing in the ghetto. Come on, folks. And what is it between, I want to know. Y'all tell me. Between the sorceress and Grayskull, were they, she... I mean, I'm just saying these things. Everybody want to put 2 and 2 together on everything else on the internet. I want to know what he was in there with the sorcerers talking about. I have the power. Oh my goodness. Right. And that's right. If it wasn't He-Man or Skeletor, you knew nothing about any of these characters. What were these characters? Merman, Beastman, Trapjaw, Triclops, or anything with a man stuck on the back. And that sounded real bad. And that shows you how kind of we weren't as well-rounded as we were when we were kids. It is what it is. But we get the Sword of Power reforged. Then you've got Prince Adam, who is in heaven, Preternia, and he has to make a decision whether or not he's going to come back. And, being that everybody there chooses the form that they were champions in, he kept his smaller, weaker self, and they called him Flea Man. Okay, whatever. But he made the choice to go back so he could save Eternia, help save Eternia. Well, here goes the problem. Okay, he made it back. Let's get to episode 5. The Forge at the Forest Forever. So, after a long talk with Moss Man and all, get it, Moss Man, go figure. Randy Moss Man. I know what, Moss Man. So basically, long story short, he made it back. The Sword of Power is reformed, but at what cost? What went down? We killed off He-Man in the first episode. He bring him back in the 5th episode, And Teela's destiny is hinted at, and has been hinted at ever since episode 2, and it seems the Sword of Power is made whole again. But there are things that need to be known because we now have a change in the dynamic as who is the hero in this from the original series. Because it is not He-Man. The hero is, spoiler alert, it's Teela. Why? Because we killed off He-Man again in this episode when we get a return of Skeletor. Spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. But here goes my thing. Here goes my thing. All right. We know that it's Teela, but here's where I got to go ahead and put my 2 cents, my thoughts. My thoughts. And this is just Ed's opinion. Okay, Prince Adam He-Man, he's not the main focus of the series. And I think that's why so many comments that I've read on Twitter and seen is like, they're not flattering for the series. I mean, they review bombed it on Rotten Tomatoes and things like that. Honestly, it makes me wonder sometimes about people in general because the show's called Masters of the Universe. That was a huge clue. That was a huge clue right there as to where this storyline was going to go. I mean, I really don't understand any of the outrage because, in my humble opinion, the animation style was decent, the show was put to good, the story flowed well. I'm kind of pissed that it ended on a cliffhanger because we don't know if it's going to get renewed. There are so many great shows with great writing, great composition, Lovecraft country that don't get renewed for a second season. So my question is this show being more receptive or woke going to be its downfall? Because we all know companies make stuff for money, not because it's the right thing to do or it's a good story. Kevin Smith is proving. Kevin Smith is making his money. Kevin Smith could give a care less whether this continues or not. I don't think. Okay. I mean honestly, if I was making money hand over fist, hey, you gonna pick my show up? Great. You're not gonna pick my show up? Oh well, you're lost. That's how I would feel if I was Kevin Smith. Okay, because there's gonna be more to this story. I mean, if you've got Mark Hamill playing Skeletor, okay, you didn't drop some money. You didn't drop some dough. Mark Hamill ain't doing this for free. Okay, none of these voice actors are doing it for free. Maybe Jason Mewes, who played Stinkor in the beginning episode. That's Kevin Smith's boy. He been doing stuff for free for Kevin Smith ever since Clerks. So what does that tell you? But my thing is, what can you do? Okay, what can you do? Yes, I know he was stabbed. He was stabbed. Cliffhanger. The assumption is he's dead. Let's go with it a little bit. Let's go. Come on. Let's cater to the unfocused for just a hot second. But here goes the thing. Okay. These stories are evolving. And here goes my point. Are these cartoons being made for kids, or are they being made for the adults like me reliving their childhood? I'll be honest with you. They're made for me, the adults reliving their childhood. The themes, the stories, the background, the lessons that they're doing. Because if you remember, the old school He-Man had a lesson in every episode. This is not your old school He-Man. Okay, they're not doing this like the old school GI Joes and He-Mans. No one's half the battle. You remember that, young Billy? Don't bully. No, this is not. They are made for us. We are reliving and telling the stories, fleshing them out, because that's what we did as kids. Oh, we made with the toys come out, we made our own little backstories. That's what we did. And that's what's happening now. The people writing and producing these are the people who are my age. Yes, they are. Man, I should have been writing this stuff. I should have been doing it. But anyway, here's the deal. What do I give He-Man? Nope, I can't give He-Man anything. This is not He-Man. I guess the adult beverage is kicking in. Give me a sip. What do I give Masters of the Universe Revelation? Animation style, it gets a 5. Story. Story gets a 3.5, almost a 3 3/4, 3.75. Only because a little bit of it is kind of predictable from me. And they did, I kind of felt like that Lois Lane trope was a little bit too much in the beginning, and how she got pissed off. And King Randor was completely pissed off. I know the mom knows, but I really didn't think that King Randor was that stupid. But it is what it is. Here's the deal, okay? You know, it's not made for kids, but I think kids would understand this a lot better than the stuff they got on Cartoon Network right now with the animation styles that they got going on with a lot of that stuff. I mean, it is what it is. You got the toy companies coming back, Mattel, Hasbro. They're looking at their properties and they're revisiting them. I can't wait to see a Voltron. I can't wait. Voltron's coming. Thundercats should be coming. I mean, I'm actually rewatching the Thundercats reboot. Not really reviewing it, but I'm watching the Thundercats reboot on Hulu. This was like from, was it 2011 or 2016? I don't know. It's a couple of years back, and that's pretty decent. Reimagining other stories. I know they didn't make any more because people didn't dig the reimagining of the stories, but hey, it's nice to see a different take on stuff every now and then, as long as they don't go completely overboard. I mean, hey, it is the thing. He-Man is still He-Man. Skeletor is still Skeletor. Let's have some of the other Masters of the Universe, get their shine on, get their power on, get the ability to show why they were worth making a toy figure, and that's just basically it. I mean, seeing the different things, seeing that Triclops is having a techno cult, Merman is ruling the seas with a webbed fist. Some of this stuff is pretty damn cool. Just those little nuances in the background make it worth watching. Don't shut it out, folks. Just because it focused on Tila and Evil Lynn doesn't make it a bad show. Doesn't make it a show not worth watching. And if you are one of those types that just don't like it because Evil Lynn, I'm like, come on, really? We gonna be like that? This is 2021, But I digress. That's my opinion. My opinion. Totally my opinion. Oh, notice I did not talk about Thundercats Go. Thundercats Go, done in the animation style of we all be heroes. Ain't that what that is? That little cheesy. They need to stop. Cartoon Network needs to go. Cartoon Network needs to get back to the Ed, and Eddie days. They need to get back to the Kids Next Door days. Even get me back to Johnny Bravo. That's all. Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Get me back to that. But that it is what it is, man. But I digress. I say again, I'm a little older. I'm a little wiser. I could take a little bit more, even though my back killing me. I do what I do. But anyway, folks, that's the end of this week's podcast. Thanks for being a member, JP, my man. Thanks for everybody else popping in. Ernest, like that. Everybody, Bob popping in. Really, really appreciate you. Remember, the link to donate to Children's National Medical Center in Washington, D.C. is in the description. Let me go ahead and hit I'm Still Fly. Anyway, remember, if you can't say something nice, don't say nothing, anything. Send it to me. Let me say it. It is what it is. Peace, y'all, and I'm out of here. Overall, Masters of the Universe gets a 4. That's what I give it. I like it. It is what it is.
Change the scenery, yeah. Everybody smoking all the greenery, yeah. Clothes the match 'cause they were handed down to me. But I'm still fly, I know.
All right, everybody. Hey, those comments.
I'm still fly,
let's get it right. Let's
still
what
fly,
this breaks
let's
down.
go.
Let me go ahead and say a few things.
It could all be worse. I could be a hater like you.
Okay, listen up, guys. This is the thing. It wasn't directed towards anybody directly inside the chat. I mean, I've been reading the IMDb reviews, and people are kind of cruel online. And it's beginning to be a real problem because people just don't sit back and watch and kind of get the full gist of the story. We're just so impatient nowadays. We want it all right here. Right here. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say it's, with the cartoons and stuff, I'm not going to say it's Steven Universe and Teen Titans Go fault. Teen Titans Go, yeah, I'll blame it on Teen Titans Go. Steven Universe is pretty cool. I kind of like that. But Teen Titans Go, gotta go. Gotta go. Gotta go. Gotta go. I got my grandson watching Young Justice. He's loving it. He's 9. Make kids a little bit. Give kids credit nowadays. He likes Teen Titans Go, but he's really digging Young Justice. So that tells you. And I don't know if that's just come hanging around me or whatever. But I'm still fly. Peace. And I'm out of here.
I'm still fly. Let's go.
Subscribe button is right over here.